Today we are going to study about a person who made a great impact in India, especially with regard to the Roman Catholic Christianity, Saint Francis Xavier. He came to India as part of the Portuguese Federado. King John III of Portugal, always concerned for the progress of the faith in his rapidly expanding dominions, he appealed to the popes and the newly formed Society of Jesus, Jesuits, for priests who should go to India. The first man to be chosen bears a famous name in the history of Christianity in Asia, Saint Francis Xavier. Saint Francis Xavier was a Spaniard belonging to a noble family of Navarre and little kingdom near the Pyrenees and related to the royal families of Navarre and France. As a young man of 19, he went to the University of Paris, where he spent 11 years, first as a student and later as teacher. There he came under the influence of a remarkable man who also from Spain and also a member of the university known as Ignatius of Loyola. Francis Xavier was one of the 6 young men who, with Ignatius himself, met together in a little chapel in Paris in 1534, and they took a vow by themselves into a brotherhood. They pledged themselves to live in celibacy and poverty. They went to Rome and met the Pope and expressed their willingness of God's service. They worked out rules for a more definite and organized society than the vague brotherhood. They submit this request before the Pope, and after much hesitation, Pope approved them at last in 1540, and thus was born the Society of Jesus or the Jesuits. The King of Portugal heard about all these developments, wrote to the ambassador in Rome asking him to move the Pope to allow some of them to be sent to India. They decided finally that Francis Xavier should go. Another priest, Paul de Camerino, also volunteered. He was not at that time a Jesuit, but he afterward joined the society. They sailed from Lisbon, the capital of Portugal, in April 1541 in the fleet which was taking out a new viceroy, de Souza, to Goa. The king had interviewed them and commended them to the viceroy. It was under royal patronage that they set out. Xavier also carried letters from the Pope appointing him as apostolic nuncio, that is, special messenger of ambassador of the Pope, to India and all other countries of the Indian Ocean. In the 16th century, a fairly rapid voyage to India took from 5 to 6 months, but because of a late start and unfavorable wind, Xavier's voyage took 13 months. He landed at Goa on the 6th of May 1542. Goa by this time contained a bishop, clergy, churches, and a hospital. After paying his respects to the bishop, Xavier devoted himself to visiting the sick in the hospital and the prisoners in the jails and gathering together children and others in one of the churches for elementary Christian teaching. He would go about the streets ringing a bell and calling out, "Faithful Christians, friends of Jesus Christ, send your sons and daughters and your slaves of both sexes to the holy teaching for the love of God." Then, at the request of the viceroy, he went to work among the Parava converts who lived on the southeast coast opposite to Ceylon, taking with him three Indian Christian helpers, two of them deacons, the other one in another minor orders. He travelled by sea to what is now the district of Tinnavelli or Tirunelveli, where he found the Paravas living in 30 villages between Cape Comorin and Tuticorin, or Kanyakumari and Tuticorin. Christian in name but entirely ignorant of the faith and without church services of any kind. After making a rapid tour through the villages, during which he baptized all the non baptized children and babies he could find, he arrived at Tuticorin, where he sat down to devise a plan of campaign. The method he determined to adopt was the one he had used in Goa. Only here the language had to be Tamil, which he did not know and could wait to study properly. He translated the prayers into Tamil, beginning with the manner of making the sign of the cross as a profession of faith that there exists only God in three divine persons. Then he translated prayers like Lord's Prayer and Ave Maria. He by heart the prayer and taking a bell went ringing it right through the town to collect as many children and adults as he could. He did twice each day until at the end of a month they had learned the prayers. On Sundays, he gathered all the people, men and women, young and old, and gets them to repeat the prayers in Tamil or in their own language. After 4 months in Tuticorin, he began to make regular tours among the Christian villages, repeating the same procedure and arranging for its continuance by appointing in each place one of the more intelligent members as catechist and leaving copies of the course of instruction with those who could read. The catechists received a stipend from funds provided by the Portuguese government and administered by their agent at Tuticorin. Simple chapels of mud and thatch were built, and in these the missionaries, when they were present, or the catechists in their absence, gathered the people for the daily prayers and lessons. At another time, he was journeying to Travancore and Cochin to see one of the belligerent Maharajas to make peace. One of these journeys, he baptized large number of another fisher caste in Travancore. They were called as Mukkuvars. At Cochin, he learned from a traveler that there were bright prospects for Christian work in Indonesia. So he left India and went to Indonesia for a while. He was absent from India for about 2.5 years, from the middle of 1545 January to January 1548. When he returned, he was already dreaming of still more distant fields of work. For while at Malacca, he had met a Japanese gentleman called Angirio, who had told him much about his native land, where there were no Portuguese settlements, and he said there would be a good response to the Christian message. Angirio was brought to Goa, and baptized by the bishop in 1548. Francis Xavier set out in April 1549 for Japan with the Japanese convert Angirio and two other Jesuits. He returned to India early in 1552. Having received on the way an order from Ignatius Loyola appointing him provincial of the Society of Jesus in India and the East, Xavier became eager to go to China and, if possible, to attempt the conversion of the emperor himself. He sailed from Goa in April 1552, leaving Berze as his deputy in charge of all the society's affairs. Lot of problem happened during his journey to China, and he became ill and died in an island called Shangchuan, about 6 miles off the Chinese coast and about 50 miles southeast of the mainland. He died on 2nd December 1552. His body was buried temporarily there in the island, and later it was taken to Malacca by the Portuguese when the ships returned from China, and was buried in the church there. But about 5 months later, it was secretly exhumed by his friends and conveyed to Goa, its final resting place, where his shrine still is. And he was canonized by Pope Gregory in 1622. Thank you.